Ad revenue is literally the worst way to make money as an influencer. Yet surprisingly, for the majority of creators, that is either their main source of income or the goal that they're striving for. I can't wait till I make some money from my views. And in this video, I'm going to explain why and tell you a story that will change the way you think about being an influencer and making money online. But first, I want to show you this. This is the dashboard to my other YouTube channel. It has around 240,000 subscribers. And as you can see, oh look, wow, plus 200k subs, 17 million long form views, $40,000, that's pretty good, right? Well, the thing is, this was over the course of 3 years. Literally, I put it in custom. To this day, the past 3 years, I have made around $40,000 off of ad revenue on this channel. Despite all of the hard work I put in, all of the grinding to get 17 million views, building a cult-like following, really helping people because I make educational content, changing lives, I got paid, what's the math on that? A little over 10K a month, like 13.33 repeating $1,000. Is that the math? If that's not the math, that's embarrassing. Let's see, 40. Oh, I was right. So coming from someone who has been making content since I was a kid, who has made multiple six-figure businesses online, even I wasn't able to be fully self-sustained off of ad revenue. Because the truth is, when it comes to the hierarchy of making money as an influencer, a YouTuber, a streamer, a creator, however you want to title yourself, it is kind of like an inverse pyramid, where the more you ascend, the more money there is to make, the higher earning potential you have as a creator. And spoiler alert, this is not related to views. Actually, views don't matter nearly as much as you think up here. But you know where they do matter a lot? Down here at the very bottom level, and that is the ad revenue level. So on YouTube, it would be ad revenue. On Twitter, it would be the Twitter bonus thing. On Reels, I don't even know if they pay creators for Reels anymore, but for a while you got like a creator bonus, which is just Instagram like, hey, here's a random amount of money we're gonna give you for your Instagram views. Which brings me into the first problem with relying on ad revenue, and that is that views are required. High views are absolutely required if you want to make a livable income, let alone freedom levels of money off ad revenue. And what happens is this drastically limits the styles of content you are able to make, the types of videos you're able to make, because every video kind of has to be this moonshot where I want to get hundreds of thousands, if not million plus views, because, you know, I need 1 million views to make a couple $1,000s. So, you know, maybe deep down you became a creator and influencer because you want to talk about, say, philosophy, but your philosophy videos will only get maybe 10, 15,000 views. But when you talk about drama with celebrities, all of a sudden you're getting 1 million views, and I guess I have to do that to pay the bills now. I guess I have to fill my house with Orbeez. I guess I have to blow up Lamborghinis to make enough money to buy from Whole Foods instead of Walmart. And even if you're able to get high viewerships in your niche, which I was when I was like really going ham in 2023, when it was like 1 million views, 300k views, 200k, 500k, it is a fuck ton of work. The level of effort you have to put into ideation, to planning, to recording and scripting, and especially into editing to make a video worthy of getting that high viewership consistently. You know, some creators can just yap to a camera, maybe one video will get 100k views, but then the next one gets 1,000. I'm talking about consistently hitting that number just to make a livable income is an insane amount of effort for such a small reward back. Because the truth is, if you are being paid just off of ad revenue, you are being paid a fraction of what you're worth. Keep in mind, these platforms are profiting off of you. They only care about the customer, the consumer, the viewer. You are kind of like this employee that they pay just enough to keep around, so you keep making content for the customer, which is truly the priority, the viewers, the audience. So Google gonna go ahead and reach into your pocket and take half of that ad revenue. But what about the actual ad revenue itself? Where is it coming from? Well, you probably know it comes from the advertisers. It comes from other businesses that are paying Google and YouTube to advertise their products before videos, in between videos. You've seen ads before, right? And as a business owner, I know that when you are advertising, when you are media buying, you want to pay the lowest amount possible on these platforms. Why would you not? The more you have to pay for ads, the more it cuts into your margins, and the more or the less likely your business could be profitable. Therefore, you are always trying to find the cheapest ways to advertise. And finally, these businesses have no connection to your audience. The audience is clicking to watch you, to hear about your ideas, your perspectives, watch your life, hang out with you, and yet now this third party is coming in. Hey, want to buy this course? Oh, hey, want to buy this soap that makes you smell like a man? So inherently, because those viewers aren't as tuned in or ready to be advertised to by those companies, those viewers are inherently less interested, therefore less likely to convert, which lowers their value in the context of the advertiser and Google itself. Meaning that not only are you getting a fraction of what the money is made from those advertisers, but those advertisers aren't even getting the amount that your audience is worth. Meanwhile, you're the one creating the videos, you're the one posting every day, inviting people into your life, revealing things, telling stories, teaching, providing value, and forming a real connection to your audience, and yet you are at the helm of some random business and their ability to advertise to your people. Plus, if you're anything like me, you just straight up don't want to be a slave to view counts. You don't want to be a slave to an algorithm. You don't want to be a dancing monkey that will have to sacrifice parts of who you are and what you want to make just to get 100K, 200K, 500K, a million views on your videos to keep the lights on. And this is especially true if you don't want to just be an entertainment creator. If you want to actually teach and build a community, this like cult-like community around something you're really interested in, really passionate about, love talking about. But of course, some of you might have realized that there is another thing that you notice with bigger creators and is their primary source of income, and that's here in the middle, and that is with sponsorships. And when I say this, I both mean when someone just pays a creator for a one-off ad placement, but also when a creator has a partnership with a brand and is constantly promoting their affiliate link that they get commission on. Same thing, pretty much. And the thing about sponsors is, while yes, it is still view-based. If you're getting 50 views a video, even 1,000, a couple thousand, unless you're hyper niche and specific and so is the business, you're not gonna get hit up by companies that want to sponsor you, nor are companies going to even know you exist because there's just not that many eyeballs on you. But while being view-based, it does have a higher earning potential, and I'm not typing all that out, so you're getting HEP. And one of the reasons why is because this is more valuable for a business compared to just an ad placement, because they are integrating themselves within your ecosystem of your content, where you have that better connection with your viewers than some random business. Therefore, they're kind of hijacking that connection to get you to promote their stuff and make money off your audience. And I'm not gonna lie, when you're an up-and-coming creator, this is very tempting. This is a lot more money than ad revenue, and it is a decent start to say, make more money so you can buy a nicer camera, a nicer microphone, an editor, afford a thumbnail designer, all these little things you need when you're trying to grow as an influencer, as a personal brand. But the thing about sponsors is it does come with risks. One, risk of censorship. The moment you start letting brands advertise and you form these partnerships with them, with your channel, if you want to say certain things, they might have a problem with that. They may say, hey, if you make a video about this, you talk about these things, we can't sponsor that. Which, you know, for some creators that matters, from some creators it doesn't, because you don't talk about anything that could run that. But another risk is actually the risk from the brand itself. For example, so many YouTubers were promoting honey, and then it turned out that honey was scamming creators out of money, and it was a big drama. There was a similar thing that happened a couple years ago with BetterHelp. There was another one that happened with Graham Stephan. He had this, I think he owned part of it, but he had this big banking kind of platform thing that fell under and like prevented people from getting access to their money, and that flooded his comment section. That really hurt his brand, because now you've lowered the trust with your audience, which is something that once you lose, it is extremely hard to get back. And at the end of the day, the most important thing you could have with your audience is trust. But third, the risk of out of nowhere being dropped by a business and all of a sudden that income you needed for that month is gone. Brands are more and more turning away from influencers and creators in exchange for making in-house content or UGC content, which is creators that just make ads basically for a living. And now that AI is right around the corner, a lot of businesses aren't going to work with creators at all, because they can just make their own creators on a fucking computer. Therefore, while the money may be better now, long term you still run into a lot of risks and a lot of wavy waters similar to ad revenue in the algorithm. And maybe the most important point with this is that a business that works with a creator and influencer because it is a profitable endeavor, because they may pay the creator a certain amount or give them a certain percentage of commission off the sales they generate, but the business makes way more of that money. That's why they do it. Therefore, just like ad revenue, if you just work with sponsorships, you will always be paid less than your worth. It is just part of the game, because at the end of the day, that's not your business. I had friends who were very high level affiliates for brands, and I had one specifically, it was for like a fitness clothing company, and I remember he really helped blow this brand up. This brand is now a 9-figure brand, and he asked for a very small percentage of equity in the business, and the owner just said, no, sorry. Not your business. Thanks for all the money you made me though. But all that being said, there may be some brands that just make perfect sense to work with. And yeah, do it. It'll help you. It'll help your audience. It'll help the business. Everyone kind of wins in that situation. But just like this chart, there is still something that makes the majority of income more than all these other things that isn't reliant on views, that you don't have to actually put as much effort because you're not chasing these crazy views. You can more focus on the content you want to make and your audience you want to have, and is quite literally the path to freedom as a creator. It is the path that I took. It is the path that most of these big influencers, these gurus, these creators, both on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, have taken, that allowed them to finally take back full control over themselves and their business and their career as a creator, as an influencer. So both for ad revenue and for sponsorships, I explained that you're not getting paid what you're worth. And what I mean by that is, one, for the value, for the effort, for the time you put into your content, but two, the worth of the viewers, of the audience that you are building. Because imagine if you gathered 1,000 people who are similar to you and have problems that you've experienced and have overcame and you have solutions to, and you got to sit one by one with all of these 1,000 people for, let's say, 15 minutes and talk about this, and then propose a solution that they could pay you to solve. Would it be crazy to think that even just one person would pay you to solve their problem? This is why there are some creators that have a couple thousand subscribers, get a couple thousand views, and are making tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands a month, which I know that sounds crazy, but even just a couple thousand a month would be life-changing for you, would it not? For example, I had a friend, Josh, he was a video editor. He was making decent money as a video editor, but it still wasn't enough to really live the life he wanted. He had a newborn baby to take care of. He had a wife to take care of. But once I helped him set up this model that I'm about to reveal to you, he was making multiple thousands and thousands of dollars extra on top of his current income every single month. And that is because the key to freedom as a creator, where you can live wherever you want, make videos about whatever you want, without being a slave to an algorithm or a dancing monkey to get a certain view count, is ownership. Because you don't own YouTube or Instagram. You don't own the businesses that these advertisers place ads on. You don't own the businesses that sponsor you or the brands that you affiliate with. And because of that, you will never get the worth that it is. You are inherently just not a piece of the pie. You're this third party that just kind of helps here and there. Whereas with ownership, you own the income source. Meaning that instead of all this effort you put in with your content to magnetize this perfect audience that likes you, that trusts you, that aligns with you, and then either just letting some advertiser take a sliver of the worth out of it, like cents on the dollar, or redirecting the audience to some other business that you don't control and that you don't own, that you can't guarantee the results of, you just draw them to you. And you have an offer that you have full control of because you own, and that is what you present them with. It was the beginning of 2023. I was finally getting some growth and traction on my YouTube channel. I was getting, a couple $100 from ad revenue, growing my brand, things like that. I was still a full-time freelance video editor and videographer for another creator. And that income was actually coming from one of his sponsors that were willing to pay for me to help him make content that promotes that brand. But going into that year, he was making less and less and less videos. He was doing more stuff like Snapchat, Instagram, and just didn't really feel the drive to make regular content. And then the brand started reaching out to me directly. They would say, hey, can you guys do this project and make this ad, this promotional thing? Hey, can you make some more YouTube videos to promote the product? Like, what's going on here? And by that point, I started to see the writing on the wall that I'm about to get fired. This job that for the past 2+ years has been what pays my bills, what pays my groceries, that helps me provide for myself and my girlfriend, is about to be taken away from me. And it was only because I just so happened to at the same time be learning and mastering the things that I'm explaining to you now, that I was able to launch an offer that I own to my audience at the exact same time that I was let go. And that very next month, my income from my offer was double my salary as an editor. And to that point today, I have been fully self-sustained. I have complete freedom. I can live wherever I want. I can travel wherever I want. I don't have to clock in anywhere. I can wake up and work whenever I want. And I don't have to work nearly as hard on my content. I used to spend like 15 plus hours editing videos because I was like, they don't have the attention span. I need to get these views so I can make some ad revenue. Whereas now I can focus on being more authentic and providing more actual value instead of like brain rot entertainment to get hundreds of thousands of views. And to finally realize my potential as a creator, to finally get the value back that I have provided in building this audience and helping this audience, instead of just getting fractions, pennies on the dollar from all these other methods. And all an offer really is a promise to get your audience avatar, which, by the way, if you don't have a crystal clear vision on what your audience avatar is, you're going to struggle to get views, to have an impact, and let alone to have some kind of offer that actually works with your audience, and may just straight up not make it as a creator. Plus, when you have crystal clear clarity, it makes your content 10 times better. And if you were to have some kind of resource that clearly breaks down and paints the picture of who that is on the other side of the camera when you talk to it, you can then give it to, say, your AI tools to help you write better titles, better scripts, better hooks, better thumbnails. So I have a completely free audience avatar generator in the description that you can grab during or after this video. But anyways, the promise is just promising the desired outcome that the audience avatar has, and that's it. You're just promising that they'll get to that desired outcome while avoiding any suffering or struggle they may run into on their own. If you're a fitness creator, this could be a diet plan, it could be coaching calls, it could be fitness guide in terms of a video course or something. If you're teaching people how to knit, it could be a video series on how to knit like an expert. If you're teaching athletes how to jump higher, it could be a program on how to jump higher. It could be coaching calls teaching them how to jump higher. If you're really good at photography, it could be a pack of presets. It could be a video explaining how to use their camera to the best of their ability to take better pictures. If you're a self-improvement creator, it could be something that helps them be more confident. It could be something that helps them be more sociable and talk to people. It'd be something that helps them be more focused when they're trying to work. And while those are pretty basic examples, it can literally be anything. The other day I got hit with an ad that shocked me because, one, I never played this game before, but it was an ad for Warhammer fans, this war game, who want to get in shape. And this guy was a fitness coach for Warhammer fans, and he was running an ad, so I assume it was getting some form of money return. Another example I saw was someone who taught people how to open a little bakery in their home. Like, if you like baking, oh, you can just bake in your home and sell baked goods. Here's how to do it. Literally anything that could be used to bridge the gap between your avatar and the desired outcome can be a product that can be turned into an offer. And the thing about digital products is you never run out of inventory. You can sell to literally everyone. You can change things about it to make the price higher or lower. And you have infinite control, infinite ownership over something that is hyper valuable that you can sell infinite times over, and it only takes you the effort up front to make it once most of the time. Which, by the way, if you want my exact system that enables you to create compelling content that attracts that ideal audience, build an undeniable personal brand, and launch an offer that literally will make sales in your sleep and enable you to get on the path of creator freedom, check out Audience Alchemy in the description. It is exactly that, so just click it in the description, see if it's right for you. Moving on. And that is why relying on viewership or ad revenue is the worst way to make money as an influencer, let alone one of the worst ways to make money online for the majority of people. But you actually need a system to be able to craft the perfect product, the perfect offer, and a pipeline that will turn your audience into customers for that thing without coming off as some like weird grifter or scammer or just messing it up, because we see creators do that a lot. And you can do that by checking out my PPP framework that I fully break down in this video on the screen right now. Here it is. Click it, click it, click it. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye bye.